Okay, it's a new season, fresh start, but by no means a clean slate when it comes to development. We're always pushing forwards, and hopefully when you get out there this weekend, you'll be able to feel the progress we've made over the last 12 months. I won't wish you good luck, just good hunting. Go show them how it's done.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the start of Season 2 of F1 2018 Career Mode. I apologise sincerely about the lengthy break between episodes. I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and the last episode of Season 1 was the day of my surgery, and this is like the first time of me coming back. So, you know, if you want me to continue doing this and you want my jaw to fall off, then leave a like, subscribe. Hopefully it's alright. I really hope that I'll actually be able to get through this commentary, but we'll wait and see. Here we are for Season 2. We had all the upgrades go on the car without fault. I can't even remember what we did. I think it was like engine, and we did some reliability stuff. So not the most ideal way to start the season because of all the regulation changes heading into Season 2. But here you can see the performance chart. This was actually taken before the patch, and now we're going to fast forward to what happened after the patch. But before we do that, we're going to do a major front downforce upgrade. This is what I wanted to do heading into Season 2, but the regulation changes that prevented me from doing that. But we're now going to target that going forward into Season 2. But now you can see the changes going forward after the patch. So in between Season 1 and Season 2, there was a performance update that changed the order of the team. So Sauber obviously got a big boost from the last episode. Williams, I believe, got a downgrade. McLaren definitely got a downgrade as well. And I believe Haas might have got a slight boost. But yeah, you can see we went from being best of the rest, I think, last season. Then we dropped down pre-patch because we didn't upgrade that much. And then after the patch, it was all fine. So we become, I think, pretty much best of the rest again. So, Haas might be just ahead of us, or either way, I think they'll be right with us there anyway. So it's time for practice 1 now to find out, you know, what the car is capable of. Like I said, we've done a few little upgrades here and there, but hopefully we should be able to notice quite a big up in performance from last season.
Let's get a few laps under our belt.
Alright, here we go. It has been a very, very long time building to this moment. A lot of upgrades. It's been a long winter. Hopefully, the promises that the team have been setting can deliver in this Australian Grand Prix, and we can be a front-running team right from the outset. So let's go. Onto the track now. We've done some small little upgrades. One thing I did notice heading into Season 2 was the engine power was certainly a lot better. The boost in performance that we got from Codemasters themselves made the aero a lot better. But the biggest thing out of anything was the chassis. Oh my goodness, the chassis. The car felt so nimble and so light on its feet as I was driving around on the circuit. Change of direction at high speed at that chicane was amazing. Like it was almost to the point where it was almost like unstable. But we managed. We got through practice 1. We're not in the top 14, but I'm not worried. We really didn't push the car at all. So heading into practice 2 and 3, we'll do some qualifying stuff. We'll do some low fuel runs, tune the setup a little bit, and then after that, we'll have a real understanding of what this car is capable of. So here we go in practice number 2 for the qualifying program. The time it wants us to beat is a 1 minute 21.2, so we'll give it a go. Hopefully the car is up to the task. Hopefully I'm up to the task. I'm still a little bit rusty, to be honest. It has been over a week since I have driven on this game, but across the line, we pass the program straight off the bat, and we do a 1 minute 21.1, I think it was. But we're going to push again. We have 2 sets of ultra soft tires, so again, we're tuning the setup. We're having a go at the end of the session to see if we can get that purple score and get up those resource points. We're still going to be just as hungry for resource points like we were last season, because we still probably have some ways to go to catch the front runners. But across the line, it is purple. 1 minute 20.7. Oh my goodness. And Charles Leclerc is top FP1 as well. This is unbelievable. Do you guys want to know what I did in qualifying? In Q1 of Season 1 of F1 2018 Career Mode, we were 2 seconds slower than what we are now. We are 2 seconds faster than this time last season. And we don't even have the max fuel mixture to tap into yet. This is going to be an amazing season. It's time for qualifying.
Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly.
Thanks for that one, Crofty. Welcome, guys, to the first qualifying session of the season. I've had my jaw replaced, and I think I'm good to go now for the rest of my YouTube career. But anyway, here we go. We're going out a little bit late in the session I believe. I don't believe we're going to have any issues now getting out of qualifying 1. We didn't really have any issues at the back end of last season from what I could remember, apart from maybe the tough tracks. But I feel like those hurdles now, for the most part, are behind us. So going forward, the strategy for qualifying is going to be minimal running. First 2 sessions. Depending on what the pace actually is, we may opt to go for like a middle compound strategy for qualifying 2 to give us more flexibility in the races, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if we're quite there just yet. I think Australia is a bit of a difficult circuit when it comes to battling the AI, so we may not have that luxury of getting through on a harder compound. That was a bit of a moment there at the exit of the 11 and 12 chicane. 4 minutes to go in the session. We're currently up by 5/10. This has been a great lap so far versus our opening time set on used ultra soft tyres. Through to the 3rd sector now. 3rd gear. Nice and flowing through here. Car does change direction very well. We're still lacking a little bit in terms of downforce, but otherwise the car is really, really good. Across the line, we go P6 with a 19.9. Like I said, we did like a 22.6, I believe, in qualifying 1 of season 1. So for the most part, we're about 3 seconds faster versus this time last season. That is a huge, absolutely monumental upturn in performance. When I think about how much more room for potential there still is, it's unbelievable how much potential we can unlock in this car. But qualifying 3, I didn't put in a good of a lap as what I did in Q2. The lap in Q2 was amazing. It was a 19.9. We did a 20 flat in Q3. It was only a 10th away from my best all weekend, but it just wasn't enough versus the other AI cars, and I think it's like P8 on the grid for the Australian Grand Prix. So we're going to go to the race now. Hopefully the car in race trim is better than what it is in qualifying. We'll have to wait and see.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
New drivers, new cars, and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21 race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, man who was world champion once upon a time as well, and an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, the first time racing these cars. So what are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction. I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, obviously there's the question of performance in race trim, but really this is going to be all about reliability. It's the first Grand Prix of the season, don't forget. You're pushing all your new components to their limits. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology. So the most important thing today is to get to the end of the race, keep everything in good condition, and try to stay out of trouble while you're at it.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Australian Grand Prix, getting ready for this race. I'm not going to lie, it is a little disappointing where our starting position is versus the rest of the field. You can argue we haven't really made any progress versus the front runners in this field, but if you look at the time difference from us to whoever the pace setters are, we've actually gained a little bit. So Charles is only 7 tenths away, and with further upgrades, that major front downforce upgrade coming in a couple of races time, that could be the difference between us and being a race-winning team for the first time ever. For Sauber, is that, am I wrong there? Have I got something completely wrong? I don't know. I need to brush up on my history a little bit, but we're getting ready for this Australian Grand Prix, I feel like we are only a whisker away from being a front-running team. If things go our way, we have a good strategy, anything is possible in this Grand Prix. 5 red lights, and we are underway for Season 2 of F1 2018 Career Mode. It's been a good start. Charles got off to an even better one, and he looks like he's going to be challenging the front runners. Heading into turn 1, we'll see if we can follow him through. Verstappen looks like he was pinched on the inside there between himself, Charles Leclerc, and maybe even his teammate Daniel Ricciardo now as they head into turn 3. Looks like Leclerc is going to try and overtake Verstappen, and maybe even Ricciardo as well as they approach turn 3. He goes round the outside of Ricciardo. They'll have the inside for the next left-hander, and that's him into P5 now. Charles Leclerc is into P5 in this Australian Grand Prix. They're still going side by side, actually. We're taking to the grass now to try and overtake Verstappen. It looks like he's lost a bit of his front wing on Daniel Ricciardo, and now he's all over the place as he tries to find position. P8 it is for him now, and that is us moving up quite considerably. The Sauber looks like it's pretty slippery in a straight line. It's allowing us to dance around the outside of some of these cars. That was a moment. Let's just take a breath and appreciate that save there at the exit of the fast chicane. That was hang on for your life moment right there. Verstappen is now getting gobbled alive by the midfield runners. I think he just got overtaken by Kevin Magnussen, and he's only going to fall further back now. With that front wing damage, it's going to be interesting to see what he does now in terms of strategy. I believe it's a one stop, so he's got to stretch this out for a good 7-8 laps before he can put on the softs and then take those to the end of the grind. Is it mediums? I think it might be mediums. Either way, a tough day ahead for the Verstappen. Team radio?
Okay, I'm not sure. I think I might have an engine failure. Yeah, I'm losing power.
Yeah, we do see it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So Sebastian Vettel is out of this Australian Grand Prix. He was leading the Grand Prix, and he just set the fastest lap of the race as well. What a shame. What an absolute shame. He just missed out on the championship in the last race in Abu Dhabi, and now he starts off this one with a DNF and a big fat 0 points next to his name. While all the while, myself, the Red Bulls, his teammates, both the Mercedes, it's going to be a huge points gain and already a massive uphill battle from here for the rest of the season now. It's only race 1. You know you're in for a tough season when you have a reliability failure before the parts are even worn out. But meanwhile, this is Daniel Ricciardo going around the outside of Charles Leclerc. He tries to make the move stick around the outside into the 3rd sector. Charles over the inside for the next right-hander. Sauber doesn't have the best downforce, and this is a downforce-heavy sector. So Ricciardo gets the position back. Then Ricciardo parks the Red Bull on the apex of turn 1. I don't know what that was. His pace was very, very slow there. And now we're going to see if we can take advantage of this. Leclerc is thinking the same thing as well. He goes out the inside into turn 3. This is a corner where we struggle in the Sauber to get downforce. Teammate gets shoved out wide. We get his position, and now we move up into P5 ourselves. Oh my goodness, the positional changes has been absolutely crazy this race. And Ricciardo is on super soft tyres as well, so if anything, he should be faster than us, given the lack of tyre wear. But Ricciardo, what is that? I actually took an active decision to let him go and let him have the position while I save fuel, and he parked on the apex like that. I don't understand. I really do not understand. But meanwhile, this is Raikkonen battling away with both the Mercedes there. I think that was Hamilton he was exchanging positions with for the lead of the Grand Prix. And Vettel was a good few seconds up the road from those guys. Can you imagine how much of a lead Vettel would have had now if he would have still been in this race? They're battling away and actually losing time to us now. So we're actually marching forward towards this battle for the lead here because they're all squabbling so much. Raikkonen has now dropped to P3. Our tyre wear is now really starting to come into this, and we're going to be diving into the pits on the next lap, I believe. The team give Charles Leclerc the undercut strategy, which is interesting. He's going on to soft compound tyres, and he's going to go a long way into this Grand Prix. I think we're doing a 2-stop. We are doing a 2-stop. So Charles gets the undercut, but crucially he rejoins in heavy traffic. There was a Red Bull, there was a Toro Rosso and a McLaren all in front of him squabbling for position. Meanwhile, we're going to stay up the extra lap, and I'm actually going to push really hard here to see if I can get the overcut, because Charles is going to be on cold tyres. He's going to have to build up his pace. He's stuck behind that that unpit stop traffic. And with some good fortune here, we might actually be able to emerge in front of him. So we'll wait and see how this goes. Into the pits now. We're on the exact same strategy as Charles. Like I said, we're going onto the soft compound tyres. No front wing change, no angle change for the front wing either. And it's a fairly quick stop there. And we rejoin pretty much as we were, right behind Raikkonen, who has actually lost a little bit of time, if anything, in the pit stop phase. But rejoining on the circuit, my teammate is nowhere to be seen.
Guys, what are we doing? But what did we do with the tires? Come on, we went to pit early. I've never said, I don't know. We'll think later.
Oh my goodness, Charles is pissed. He knows that the team have thrown away a really good result here. We're essentially going to be battling for the championship potentially later on in the season. He knows the depths of this blunder from the team, and we're going to get heaps of points on him. Like, to be honest, guys, we know how fast the development of this car is going to be, and the fact that we get early points on Charles, getting held up in traffic, is going to be huge for our championship. But meanwhile, we're battling side by side with Ricciardo. He just rejoined on the circuit. Despite starting on a harder compounded tyre, he only stretched the tyres one extra lap versus us. I don't understand. He could have gone so much deeper into the Grand Prix. He could have had much fresher tyres at the end and potentially do a one-stop. But now he's dragged himself into the two-stop, and I don't know. I really don't know. That's so confusing. We had a virtual safety car. It was for Grosjean, who was driving around very, very slowly in the middle sector. He's got a puncture of some kind, and we'll actually come up to him in a minute because he's just driving around so slowly. But meanwhile, Ricciardo got past Gasly, who hasn't stopped yet. Now we're trying to overtake him ourselves here at the inside into turn number 10, I think it is, and turn 9. Job done, that's P9. And now this is Grosjean, who is absolutely dead in this Grand Prix. So he's limping it back to the pits. I don't know why the VSC wasn't still called out there, because he's still on the track driving around really slowly. The danger is still kind of there for everyone. But anyway, halfway through this Grand Prix, we're holding down P5 at the moment. I think this might be the maximum we can get in this race. Ricciardo seems to be a little bit faster than us. He's got fresher tyres. We seem to be faster than everyone else behind us as well. And if anything, we're actually pulling out the gap to Sergio Perez. So at the moment, it looks like we're in no man's land, but I'm still pushing on as much as I humanly can to try and catch up to Ricciardo in case he encounters some really bad tyre wear, in case he gets a problem of his own. But this is the battle for the lead of the Grand Prix. That leading pack, we've got Raikkonen, both the Mercedes, and then of course Daniel Ricciardo, and they're only like 10 seconds up the road from me. But the pace was just a little bit off. We weren't able to catch them, but for the most part, we did kind of keep them within a pit stop, which was awesome. We haven't kept the field, or the race winner, that close to us at any point this season. So I'll certainly take that. That was the Grand Prix. We just brought it home at the end for the second half, and it's going to be P5, 10 very valuable points to start off.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Park Ferme.
And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, tyre management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
So there we go, guys. That has been the first race of Season 2. First off, a couple of things to actually apologise about. One, I thought there was a 2-stop in this race. I thought I remembered what happened in this race. Turns out I didn't. 2, I stuffed up on the tyre compounds. I thought that the mediums were on offer, but instead of the mediums, we had super softs, so apologies about that. Yeah, it has been a little while since actually recording this episode and then going ahead and actually commentating it. So there you go, it's P5 and 10 points. 10 very valuable points for the championship. Charles Leclerc, I don't know what that race was for him. He stopped one lap early. I definitely thought there was an opportunity there with the overcut. I knew he was going to get held up behind traffic, but then after that, he never got past anyone, which I really don't understand because he was carving his way through the field on the first lap. It was really racy against the Red Bulls, but against slower cars, it's just not good enough. And he has no points. But yeah, I can't stress enough how important the rivalry is between myself and Charles this season, given how fast the rate of development is, I imagine we're going to be winning races this season, and dare I say it, maybe even championships. The fact that he's got nothing against his name in this first race is a huge advantage in our favour. We know how fast Charles is, and like I said, just like the story of Season 1, as soon as he gets a clean race, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. But we got some really good resource points off the back of that first round. We might be able to do another major upgrade.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one.
Thanks, Emma. Yeah, we do have enough resource points to do a major upgrade. So we're going to balance out the aero and do rear downforce. So that should be another 1,000 resource points out the window. That's going to take 2 races to take effect. So I believe that'll be the Chinese Grand Prix. So heading into that one, we're going to have front downforce upgrade, rear downforce upgrade, and they're both majors. So I don't really know what the delta is when it comes to major upgrades, but I want to say it's like 4 to 5 tenths. Do the math, and that's like a second faster. Maybe. I could be wrong. Like, if you're looking at like a high downforce circuit like in Hungary, that could be a second worth of upgrades. And looking at the rest of the chart, I don't think there's anything below the drag reduction upgrades down low. So there might not be any ultimate upgrades for us going on this car, aero-wise. So that could be it in terms of our downforce. But there we go. That has been this first episode for today. The Australian Grand Prix. Make sure you absolutely smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more F1 2017 content. Like I said, I had my wisdom teeth taken out last week. That was a major setback, but now I'm back. I will be heading on a trip very soon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I'm actually doing yet, but I'm going to have to plan ahead for videos for that. But after I'm done with that, then you'll expect some pretty regular career mode videos. I'm still going to hopefully do daily uploads, if I can. But if I don't, then you guys will kind of know why. But in terms of anything else, I would really love to know if I can get my in-game character as my in-game driver. You guys know that my face is in the game, and I've seen some people be able to mod the game so that they can have those faces as their actual driver. If you guys know how to do that, or if there's a tutorial on the internet, or if there's a YouTube video that shows you how to do it, can you please link it to me or tell me how to do it, and I'll make that my face, my actual face, my driver's face in the game. That'd be really cool. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, the Bahrain Grand Prix. Oh my goodness, that is a bogey track on this game. That's going to be a tough one. Until then, I'll see you next time.